So guys, before we get started, don't forget we do have that amazing discount code thanks to Tier 0 Games going on right now. And all you have to do is put in ZW Games 5 to get 5% discount on your total order at tier0games.com. The links will be in the description below.
What's up YouTube, this is Joe from Z4 Games, and until Dual Power comes out where I can start playtesting with Nashta in the deck, this is going to be my last cyberdark deck update, again until Dual Power comes out, or unless, I don't know, Konami gives cyberdarks more good support, maybe in the forms of like retrained versions of these, or another good fusion or something like that, I don't know. But I can only hope and dream. There you go. So, let me just explain the theory behind this deck. So Cyberdark is that deck that, like, along with DDD, I'm just always going back, testing, trying out new builds, trying out new theories, and I've realized that to play Cyberdarks, you can't play them pure. Again, until Konami gives more Cyberdark support, you can't play Cyberdarks pure because they're just not strong enough. They're not consistent enough. They don't have enough themed back row that helps disrupt or pull off power plays, stuff like that. So you have to incorporate them with something else. So I've incorporated them with Red Eyes in the past in playtesting. That was working well. I was trying Neos as well, just because you can just go Neos Fusion with Rainbow Dragon or Rainbow Dark and Neos, make Rainbow Neos, control the game with him, and then you got Big Dragon Graveyard for your Cyberdark play. You can also go with like a Cyberdark Dragon, like a level 3, and Neos for Brave Neos, and you got a level 3 Dragon already engraved for your Cyberdark summon. Things like that. That was working okay. But I ended up with this build, which is a Cyberdark Cyber Dragon hybrid. Again, going back to the Hellkaiser build, which strangely enough, it just works. As if Hellkaiser already gave us the build to work on, like the skeleton to work with. But I've been trying this out. It's been working extremely well, and it's going to be the build I stick with again until Nashta comes out, which then this deck gets a lot more consistency support. Just gives the deck further plays to go with. So, with all that said and done, explanation out the way, let's crack to it. So, we're only playing one each of the level 4s machines, so one horn, keel, and edge. It's all you need for these ones. But then we're playing 3 cannons and only 1 claw. Now the theory behind is that you gotta have these 3, obviously you can't go in Cyberdark Dragon. Simple as that. These are your like standard level 4 beat sticks of the deck. Via these guys, you know, summon these, you get 2400 beat stick. That just helps boost your consistencies, graveyard plays, and just overall power pushes. Cannon is here to search these guys, whilst also being an equipment card and also help dump things to graveyard when they battle. And Claw is in here usually for your first send with Cannon, and then can help via searching your Cyberdark spells if you draw into it, get into it. But you've got Core for that if you need to. But it's also here for your extra deck ditch. But you don't need to open this while you're only playing one of it. You just need it in here for when you want to, via Cannon sending to graveyard, or if you just happen to draw into it. So that's it for the Cyberdark ratios. Moving on to the Cyber Dragon part, which is most of the deck, just because it helps push for damage, helps control the board, and also helps go into things like Steger, which can even help with your Cyberdark damage play, because with Steger in play, you can make a Cyberdark level 4 4,500 attack points, which is just ridiculous when you think about it. That's a level 4 with 4,500, which is just stupid. So, free Cyber Dragon, it's a Cyber Dragon themed deck, so you gotta have free Cyber Dragon. Free Core, this helps search for your, not only your cyber spells, like your emergencies and repair plants and stuff like that, but also your cyber dark spells as well, because they still count as cyber spells. So your impact and your inferno is searchable via core, and among other things as well. Also helps get off things off the field, even with along with Cyber Dragon in extra zone via Mega Fleet, and also helps recover by banishing it from graveyard, summon a Cyber Dragon. You do that a lot in this deck, which is really handy. 2 copies of Veer. I don't play hers in the deck for 2 reasons. One, I've only got 3 copies and that's in my main Cyber Dragon deck, but my pure Cyber Dragon deck. But also, you just don't need hers at all. I got other cards in here that just help replace hers. Hers is just not needed in this build. You only replay hers in Cyber Dragons mostly for it's another low level that you can machine dupe, and it can recur Cyber Dragons back to your hand and adds ones from deck, but that's really all that's it, and that's just not needed. That kind of recovery is not needed in this build at all, so you just don't need it at all. So for you budget players out there that wants to build this deck, you don't need her, so you're perfectly fine with that. Nashta again is something I would like to try out once it comes out, see if it does help in the deck, gives the deck a bit more plays. We'll see how that goes when it does eventually come out. But Veer is something that's very nice in this deck just because it helps get more cyber bodies on the field, help you go into your link monsters, and just overall even chain block with core, which is very nice. Sometimes you really need that core search, and having the extra Veer in hand does really help to get that search off completely. Now I'm playing for one Proto Cyber Dragon, yes, classic Proto. I guess if you have a copy of hers spare, you can just replace Proto with hers. But Proto has been doing very well in the deck, just as an easy summon cyber name that you need without having to use an effect to treat it as Cyber Dragon. But this will definitely be taken out for Nashta at the very least, as a playoff, as a one-off, just because the Nashta can be a Cyber Dragon in grave as well. I am playing one Cyber Ouroboros. Now this is something I've been playtesting with Cyber Darks and just in general, and works very well. So the theory behind this is that you have it in your hand, you banish it with a lure, you draw 2 cards, and then Ouroboros resolves because it doesn't have to be in graveyard. So long as it's banished by any means, you get to discard 1 and draw 1. Very handy card in the deck if you're playing a lure. It's just a nice little one-off. It is a shame that Emergency can't search it. It would have been great if you could, but unfortunately we can't have everything. But Ouroboros is a very nice tech as a one-off in the deck, and I'm really enjoying it. One Cyber Powers to round up the Cyber monsters. If you're going for a fusion-based Cyber build by any means, whether it's Cyber Dark incorporated or not, Cyber Powers is a very strong one-off in the deck. Just to help search that power bond and recover your plays once your initial fusion has been defeated. Can't put it any other way. Once your first cyber fusion has been removed, powers can help recover that and getting that power bond search. I'm playing one dragon target, and that is Infernal Dragon. Just I've gone with the theme already, might as well stick to it. So, but this can be any dragon in the deck that just combos well in the deck that you just feel like it. So my options, my recommendations would either be Infernal Dragon, or Diablos. Those are my 2 recommendations if you want to have a dragon in the deck target, like a high dragon. Either Infernal Dragon or Darkest Diablos. Those are my 2. Those are my recommendations for you. That's it for the monsters. Moving on to spells. 3 copies of Reserve Emergency. This is probably the most expensive card in the deck for you budget players, but it is a needed card just to vote out any Cyber Dragon. It's just very strong. For each emergency you don't have, just up your repair plants. So I'm only sticking with 1 repair plant because emergency just works overall better than repair plant, but repair plant is still a nice one-off in the deck. 3 machine duplications just for your power plays with core, helps get your link plays going and just just essentially, if you're playing Cyber Dragons, you play Machine Duplication. There's just no arguments for that. Moving on, we want cyberdark Inferno. This is your big power play with your cyberdarks, just to completely control the board. Not completely, but you know what I mean. Just to help make your cyberdark stronger and a bit more resilient to card destructions. Now moving on to the fusion part of the deck, I have 6 fusion based spells in the deck, but they're all very important. The one cyberdark impact, go into your cyberdark dragon easier. 1 overload fusion, 2 copies of Power Bond, 1 cyber load fusion. These are the actual fusion spells in the deck. And then to round up the fusion part, 1 cybernetic fusion support. So again, impact already said, this is to help you go into a cyberdark dragon. Overload fusion is to go into your cyberdark dragons. Yes, we're still playing darkness in the deck, but also your chimera techs as well. Power Bond is just the overall fusion spell to just go into any of your machine fusions and just really push for massive damage with Power Bond. Cyberload fusion is searchable off the Cyber Dragon core and combos very well with Overload fusion and just helps push for those OTKs that you just want to, that you couldn't initially resolve via your first fusion summon. And Cybernetic fusion support is just that fun little tech in here, or that other fun little tech in here that I'm playing to search off core and just literally just win games with Power Bond. It's a very fun card to play with, paying half your life points, but then you can fusion from the graveyard as well to make a machine fusion monster. So it makes Power Bond essentially an overload but doubles the attack points, which is just ridiculous. So that's it for your fusion based cards. As I said before, 2 Allure Darkness. You don't need to play 3. 3 will clog and you're not playing enough darks that you want to banish to incorporate a 3rd one. 2 is more than enough. 1 Foolish Burial to dump the monsters to the graveyard that you need. 2 copies of Call by the Grave. I can only fit 2 copies in here, but if you can find a way to fit a 3rd one, go right ahead. I'm playing 1 Monster Reborn just to help revive monsters that you need. And 1 trap card, which is in the forms of Cybernetic Overflow. Very strong trap card to search off core, just to help remove threats that you otherwise are struggling and don't want to deal with. That's it for the main deck. Moving on to the extra deck, where like a lot of the fun is. So it is mostly fusions. So 1 Cyber Dark Dragon, 1 Cyber Darkness Dragon, 1 5-headed dragon to send off the claw to give your Cyber Dark fusions even greater attack points. 1 Eternity Dragon. You summon this a lot in the deck via Cyberload fusion after you've gone into a Rampage play. It's a very strong card if you can get it out, and helps protect your next fusion summon as well. 1 Cyber End Dragon, just for the classic end all big fusion monster, boss monster. 1 Cyber Twin Dragon, you summon it off the Cyberload fusion. 1 Chimera Tech Over Dragon, just classic OTK machine. Really pushes for massive damage, especially with the Power Bond play with fusion support. And the only 2 of fusions I play in the deck, I think the only 2 of cards in the extra deck, are 2 Mega Fleet Dragons and 2 Rampage Dragons. These are the only ones you want to play 2 of in the deck. Mega Fleet is standard, you know, simple as you're playing Cyber Dragons, you play 2 Mega Fleets just to help get rid of those problematic extra deck monsters in the extra monster zone. And 2 Rampage Dragons, because this is the main OTK machine, it's the main fusion you're going to be summoning. And push for massive damage, as well as popping back row. If you want to take one of these out, I take one of these out and put in a fortress if you want to. If you feel like your locals plays, if you face enough machine decks, you can put in a fortress. But otherwise, I just stick to the 2 Rampage Dragons. And then to move on to the non-fusions, we play 1 Infinity, 1 Nova. No, if you're playing Cyber Dragons, you at least play 1 of each of these. and then 1 Cleethorpes Genius for a generic machine link, along with 1 Seeger to help push for those plays. But that, guys, is the deck. I hope you all enjoyed it. I do apologise if you're getting sick and tired of me just posting cyberdark decks, but it's just, again, a deck that I'm always going back to, revamping, reworking, finding out the proper build to play, and in my personal opinion, I think this is the way to play. As I said, cyberdark can't really play as a pure deck. It needs to be incorporated with something, and I think, as you know, as it is, Cyber Dragon is just the best way to go about it. The Cyberdarks can just do their own things thanks to the level 3s. You just need something else to play on its own, that can play on its own, while supporting the Cyberdarks, and I think Cyber Dragon is just the best way to go. And so far, this build has been playtesting perfectly. I am really enjoying it, and the consistency is working tremendously for what it is. And again, there may be an update when Nashta comes out. If there isn't an update once Nashta comes out, it's probably because Nashta hasn't really done much for the build, and there's no need to update it. But if it does incorporate really nicely in the build and changes the build drastically, I will do an update just to explain and show what to take out for Nashta. With that, guys, that's it. Hope you all enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below what you think, and like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Until next time, guys, as always, happy dueling.
What's up, YouTube? Dan here from YUGIOH. Thanks for watching that video. If you liked it, please hit that big thumbs up button in the bottom corner as well. And don't forget to hit the big red subscribe button so you don't miss out on anything. And make sure you click that notification bell as well so you know every time one of our new videos goes up. Throughout the whole year of 2019, we're going to have more deck profiles, duels, and of course pack openings for you guys to watch and enjoy the entire year round. So stay tuned for more, and as always, guys, happy dueling.